A very, very warm welcome to all you amazing ladies. On behalf of Google, I am really excited to be here to celebrate all you strong, passionate, and persevering women, along with women tech makers, and their global vision of providing visibility, community, and resources. And I truly appreciate you spending your Saturday with us, away from your family. I know it's not easy, definitely for me, sneaking out of the house on a Saturday, so thank you. This is our 4th year of hosting our global event series in celebration of International Women's Day, where we celebrate women's achievements and campaign for gender equality. This year's theme for International Women's Day is telling our story. So I'm going to lead by example and tell my story. My story is a couple of interesting sharp turns, so let's go through that. I grew up on a small village called Golwad in India on an orchard. It's around 3.5 hours from Mumbai on the western seaboard. My first exposure to computers was when I was in my 6th grade, when my family bought a first PC for our house for their trucking business. And I spent hours tinkering on it. Little did I know that I would end up in Silicon Valley working for one of the leading tech companies in the world. Our village and our neighboring town had only one college. So at the age of 15, I moved to Bombay to continue my education. And actually, that's where I first realized and learned about gender bias, as I was the only girl in my class for 2 years studying electronics. I finished my graduation, went on to do my MBA. I joined BMG in India and helped to launch albums from international artists like Whitney Houston, Prince in the Indian market. Fast forward a few years, myself and my dog, yes, you heard me right, my dog, 8-year-old dog, moved to beautiful California, and where I became a prisoner of paradise. And I called myself that because I was on an H-4 visa. I was in this land of opportunity with tons to do, but I couldn't work because I was on an H-4 visa. I wasn't going to let that stop me, so I decided to pursue my passion of filmmaking. And I joined community college, and I started interning at local organizations like Channel 4 KRON and KKUP 91.5 FM, which is the only listener-supported radio station in the entire United States. I started working with them and later on joined their board of directors, where again, I was the only woman of color. Then I followed my heart and joined an Oscar-nominated, Emmy Award-winning production house in the Bay Area called Concentric Media, where I edited and co-produced a documentary about AIDS in Ethiopia. And at that time, I realized that technology had a lot to offer in this industry, in the filmmaking industry, and there's a lot that could be done. So I started knocking on Google's door, especially Google Video. I got a job as a temp worker, reviewing approximately 7,000 videos a day. That part of my brain, locked away and thrown. Don't want to ever go there. But I had a break in my career. I didn't have a US degree. I had to start somewhere, and I was willing to start at the bottom of the pole. But thanks to amazing and supportive colleagues at Google, I became a full-time Googler, and I transitioned to product management, which is what I wanted to do. And I'm proud to say that I have been at Google for over 10 years now. So today, as I stand in front of you, I'm humbled and honored to introduce an amazing line of speakers and workshops. And so I urge you all to share your stories to inspire other young women. At Google, differences are valued, and you can see that from my story. A diversity of perspectives and ideas, whether by gender, race, sexual orientation, neurodiversity, or a combination of them, leads to a much better workplace, to better decisions, much more creative ideas, and most important, building better products, because our products are used by people from all walks of life, right? So we at Google want to help the entire tech industry become more inclusive and accepting by inspiring young students to join computer science. We want to create an industry where people can pursue their dreams, build impactful technology, and become leaders. So I mentioned Women Tech Makers a couple of times. And if you're wondering what is Women Tech Makers, it's Google's global program for women in technology. It was kicked off in 2012 by then VP of Google X, Megan Smith, and is now led by Natalie Villalobos, who's an amazing leader right now, and a global team of Googlers. Yay, off to Natalie. And an amazing team of Googlers who are passionate about empowering women in technology through increased visibility, community, and resources. 60,000 women in person are influenced by Women Techmakers, as it not only hosts this event, but it also hosts Google I/O and Grace Hopper. It also has a membership program to offer you curated resources and community based on your career level. They also have a scholars program which supports women to attain CS degrees. And there is an incredible amount of work that goes in from 320 volunteers who around the world are developing diverse and inclusive ecosystems. You can always learn more about Women Techmakers at womentechmakers.com. Telling our story. This is the theme we are celebrating. And I've already told you my story. I hope it inspired some of you, or I hope it inspires some kids. But this is selected as a rallying cry to have each of us become more visible, which is definitely needed at this point of time. We need to tell our story to become more visible and ensure our unique contributions to this industry are being known. So please, all of you, share your story today and listen to other stories, and also amplify that by sharing it on social media with the hashtag WTM17. Diversity in technology. When you hear that term, sometimes you only think United States. But as you look at this global map, women around the world are coming together to increase the visibility, community, and resources to enable more women to join the industry. And that's why across March and April, Women Techmakers will be hosting 15 global summits, over 140 community meetups, and we believe in supporting communities wherever they are. So on April 7th, we will be hosting a summit in Sydney, Australia. And today, 3 summits are taking place. One in Seattle, New York's already kicked off, and over Europe, obviously. And so we encourage and empower women to see. It's so good to see all of you over there in the audience. And again, please share your stories and hashtag them WTM17.